She is a slave. She belongs to me.
Please.
You will not go anywhere. That day you will cook, you will wash. You are nothing in this house. You will regret it.
In a quiet village in Nigeria, there lived a girl named Amara. She was 20 years old. Her skin was smooth and dark like fresh palm oil. Her eyes were soft, but inside them was sadness. People in the village used to say she was very beautiful, but beauty does not always bring happiness. Amara lived in a small mud house at the back of the compound. The main house belonged to her stepmother, Mama Ifunanya. Mama Ifunanya had 2 daughters. Their names were Ada and Chioma. Ada was tall and proud. Chioma laughed too much, but her laughter was not kind. They were lazy girls, very lazy. Every morning before the cock crowed, Amara was already awake. She would carry a big broom and sweep the whole compound. The dust would rise into her face, enter her nose, and make her cough. Still, she swept. After sweeping, she would go to the chicken pen. Shoo, shoo, she would say as she poured grains on the ground. The chickens liked her. They followed her everywhere. Then she would carry a clay pot on her head and walk to the stream. The stream was far, very far. The road was rough and filled with stones. Sometimes her feet would bleed, but she never complained. When she returned, she would go to the bush to fetch firewood. When she came back again, she would cook. After cooking, she would wash plates. After washing plates, she would wash clothes. Not only her clothes, not her stepmother's clothes alone, not even just Ada and Chioma's clothes. She washed everything. Meanwhile, Ada and Chioma would sit under the mango tree. Amara, Ada would shout. Yes, sister, Amara would answer softly. Bring water for us. Amara, fan me. Amara, my slippers are dirty. Mama Ifunanya would sit on a wooden chair and watch. You are too slow, she would say. You eat our food. You must work. Amara would nod. Yes, Mama. At night, when everyone slept inside the big house, Amara slept alone in the small hut. She would look at the moon and whisper, Mama, I miss you. Her real mother had died when she was very young. Since then, life had not been kind. One hot afternoon, Amara went to the stream to fetch water. The sun was high. Sweat ran down her face. At the stream, some village girls were laughing and talking. Have you heard? One girl shouted happily. Heard what? Another asked. The prince is choosing a bride. Amara stopped walking. Her heart beat fast. What did you say? She asked quietly. The prince, the girl repeated. Next week at the village square, there will be a big dance. All young girls must attend. He will choose his wife. The girls screamed with joy. There will be drummers. There will be dancers. My mother is already sewing my wrapper. Amara stood still. The prince? Everyone in the village knew about him. Prince Obina. He was kind. He greeted elders. He helped the poor. People said he would become king very soon. Amara's heart filled with something she had not felt in a long time. Hope. She carried her water pot quickly and hurried home. Amara ran into the compound. Mama, she called. Mama. Mama Ifunanya frowned. Why are you shouting like a mad girl? Mama, the prince is choosing a bride next week. All young girls are to attend. Silence. Then Mama Ifunanya stood up slowly. And so, she asked coldly, I wanted to tell you. Ada and Chioma looked at each other and smiled. Mama Ifunanya's face became hard.
You think you can stand before the prince?
She said. You think you can stand before the prince? Amara's voice shook.
Mama, I
It is
just...
not me. You will not go
Before she
anywhere.
finished, Mama Ifunanya slapped her. The sound was loud. You are a slave in this house, Mama shouted. You will wash clothes that day. You will cook. You will not step
If I
near
see you
that
at
village square.
you will regret it.
Ada laughed. Chioma added, The prince will faint if he sees you. Tears filled Amara's eyes, but she did not cry loudly. Mama Ifunanya turned to her daughters. Tomorrow we go to the market. You will look like queens.
The next day, Mama Ifunanya took Ada and Chioma to the big village market. Amara stayed home. She washed clothes until her fingers hurt. She cooked soup. She fetched water again. When they returned, Ada and Chioma were smiling proudly. They showed off their new wrappers, bright blue, shiny red. They had beads that sparkled in the sun. Look at this, Ada said, turning around. Look at my waist beads, Chioma added. Mama Ifunanya looked at Amara. You will stay inside on that day. Do you hear me? Yes, Mama. That
Mama,
night, when
you taught me
everyone
how to sew.
slept, Amara picked up some old clothes that had been thrown away. She touched them gently. She had watched her mother sew when she was little. Slowly, carefully, she began to cut and join the pieces. Her fingers moved quietly in the night. She worked until the moon moved across the sky. By morning, she had made something simple but beautiful. She cleaned some old beads and tied them together. She smiled for the first time in many days. The day came. The village square was decorated with palm leaves. Drums filled the air. Boom, boom, boom. Women sang. Men clapped. Young girls lined up in beautiful wrappers. Mama Ifunanya and her daughters left early. Before leaving, Mama Ifunanya warned, If I see you there, you
If
will
I see
regret
you
it.
at that square,
Yes,
you will
Mama,
regret it.
Amara said. She
Yes,
watched
Mama.
them leave. She waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes. The compound was quiet. Her heart beat loudly. She went
not
into
saying
her
I'm a
hut.
queen.
She wore the wrapper she made. She tied the beads around her neck and waist. She looked at herself in a small, broken mirror. She did not look like a slave. She looked like a queen. She took a deep breath and stepped out. When Amara reached the village square, the place was full. Drummers were sweating. Girls were dancing one after another. Prince Obina sat beside his father, the king. He watched carefully. Ada danced. Chioma danced. They smiled too much. They tried too hard. The prince clapped politely. Then someone whispered, There is one more girl. Amara stepped forward. People murmured, Who is she? She looks different. She entered the center. The drums began to play slowly. Amara closed her eyes. Then she moved. Her feet touched the ground gently. Her waist moved like water. She turned. She jumped. She bent low and rose high. The crowd became silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Suddenly, Mama Ifunanya pushed
a
through the
slave.
crowd.
She belongs to
That
me."
girl is a slave, she shouted. Gasps filled the air. She grabbed Amara's arm and dragged her. You have no right to be here. Amara almost fell. Tears filled her eyes. Then a strong voice spoke. Stop.
Stop.
It was the prince. He stood up.
Let her go.
Guards, he said calmly, take this woman
Take this
away.
woman away.
The palace guards held Mama Ifunanya gently but firmly. The crowd was silent. The prince looked at Amara. Please, he said softly, continue. Amara wiped her tears. The drums began again, this time louder. She danced with her whole heart, not for the prince, not for the crowd, but for herself, for the little girl who slept alone in the hut, for her mother who was gone. When she finished, the village square exploded with cheers. Prince Obina walked toward her.
He looked into her eyes. "What is your name?" he asked. "Amara," she whispered. "You dance with truth," he said.
Father,
"You shine even in pain." He turned to the
Father,
king.
I have chosen.
"I have
Are
chosen."
you sure?
The king smiled. The crowd
Amara!
roared. Mama Ifunanya fell to her knees. Ada and Chioma stood frozen. The
You will
prince
never
took
be called a
Amara's
slave
hand. "You will not be a slave again," he said. Tears rolled down her face, but this time they were tears of joy. Weeks later, the palace was filled with music again. This time it was a wedding. Amara wore royal beads, but she was still humble. She did not forget the chickens. She did not forget the stream. She did not forget the small hut. She forgave, but she never allowed anyone treat her like nothing again. And from that day on, the village remembered something important. The one who dances last may shine the brightest.